Hey guys, KKRC again. I'm gonna make this short and sweet. I know I say that with every video, and it tends to run a little too long, but it's better than thumbing through a bunch of forums and trying to read stuff. So I try to get as detailed as possible. This has to do with the hexes that come with the Savage 21. Everyone knows they're inferior. They weren't meant to have this amount of torque. Originally with the those nitro motors, even the big block motors and stuff like that, they just didn't have all that torque right away. The main reason is because, well, it's not a direct drive per se. It's you're going to have your clutch bell with your shoes, and then of course your slipper. Now, I've pretty much locked down my slipper on this. It doesn't move, and that's probably the reason why I'm making this video, because of my stripped hex. So, anyway. Everyone knows, let's start out with, everyone knows the Savage 21, and I don't know about the next iterations, but they come with, one side has left-handed threads for your nuts. And I didn't see that as a problem, an issue, until now. Now, I'm going to have, eventually I'm going to get these end hubs or axle ends. I'm going to drill these out because the stock hole is 2.5, which is this little pin right there to hold on your 14 mil. And well, that is pretty cheesy too. The paint, it's not the problem, it's actually the plastic rim. But this, now the new hexes are going to take a 3 millimeter. Now see, there it goes in there, but it definitely won't go in the hub, so I'm gonna have to drill those out. I do not have a 3 mil drill bit, so I'll be using a 1/8 inch drill bit, SAE, American Standard, but it's only gonna shave off just a half a millimeter. It's so small. It will bore it out just slightly over 3 mils, but that's fine because I want the pin to actually slide in without a hitch. This setup that I bought was actually for this conversion, or whatever you want to call it. These hexes are actually for an HPI Hot Bodies 1/10 HB D8T Truggy 4-wheel drive. You can read it. I was just randomly buying stuff because HPI supposedly is still in business. I emailed Ripmax. Ripmax is the one that took over HPI, but I think only on the admin side. So HPI as a developer or manufacturer of its own line of these RC vehicles is still in action. So Ripmax is just monitoring what they can spend, I'm assuming. Which makes sense because they haven't, even though they just came out with the Savage XL Flux, I don't see too many parts out there. So I emailed Ripmax and I'm talking trash about HPI going under. Then I get an email from Josh from HPI. Oh, we definitely didn't go under, da da da. We're going to have your conversion kit for your 21, which is on their website, here in the next few months. Well, why the hell is it taking so long? So anyway, I don't want to wait a few months. I want to get this thing up and running. I mean, it's so fun. So anyway, this is for a different vehicle. I will make it work, and this is how. It's the same 8 millimeter internal diameter of this hex and outside diameter of the hub. I mean, they're slightly off, but you know, so you get that little wiggle. By the time you get to the end over here where your pin holes have to line up, now you run out of 8 mil because it tapers down. It's a step down right there to go to your 5 millimeter nut there in your threads. So it's gonna have a little bit of wiggle, and you fix that with an M5 nut. I bought some nylon lock nuts, non-flange of course, because you have to put it on backwards. If you don't put it on backwards, it will not fit into the tube of the hex, and you want that to give its rigidity and kind of center it where it needs to be too, so you won't get a wobble. So that's going to be my solution. There actually is another YouTube video of a guy doing this. That's where I got the idea, and hopefully these hubs won't be too hard to be drilled out. So now that I'll have 17 millimeters, maybe this won't happen. That's my 14 mil. I actually drilled straight through it, cut up an Allen wrench that I had laying around, a bunch of all these upgraded kits and stuff, and pinions and stuff. Well, sometimes you get all these little Allens. So I did this every single one of my wheels and hubs. Of course, the rear is just way too much. It actually snapped one of those bad boys off. So and you can see all the epoxy laying around it. And then here's the inside of that rim. One of those Allens hung on there for dear life and then just spun around inside of there. So it's toast, and it's kind of a bummer because I really wanted to wear these tires out. But when I knew this was gonna happen eventually, so I went ahead and nipped it in the bud, and went ahead and bought some of these 17mm Warlock rims with I think these are GT2 HPI tires on there. Really cool look over the stock look, or depending on what your preference is. I kind of like it a little better, probably because I'm used to seeing these tires. So I went with these and not the Proline trenchers and all this stuff. Are they probably better? I don't know. They could be. They have a cooler looking rim setup because I was looking at the mounted ones. I hate gluing tires. Anybody in the hobby knows gluing tires sucks, and degluing tires is even worse. So if I did get a set of 17s for this, I think they're 3.8 inch. I'll measure it again. Something to fit over the knuckles. But anyway, these were only 40 bucks shipped to me on eBay, all 4 of them. Now, if I want the Pro Line stuff like that, well over $100, and that's to me is just dumb. Unless you got the money, I mean, for you guys that maybe paid off your truck or paid off your car, and now you don't have a car payment anymore, and you were paying $500 a month, go for it, man. Well, I still have a truck payment. I got another year left, so I'm making some heavy duty payments on that, trying to get it down. And then, of course, once that's paid off, well, got to upgrade to a diesel, of course. That's just standard with the half ton, and then go into once you pay your half ton off, you have to go at least a 1 ton. So anyway, it's desert time for me and the kids. But anyway, this is gonna go on there. So bringing back to the truck, awesome truck. It's holding up great. Jumps just awesomely. The mounting points that have the shocks, and the oil I have in there right now is just pretty cool. I might stick with the 27.5, or I might just try out my 15 that I bought over there and see what happens, and then try different mounting points again. It's all that fine tuning. But now, because of my setup, I cannot use my left-handed threads for these hubs, which is a bummer because I really like these universal shafts, the dog bones, or whatever you want to call them. Can't use them because I don't want to go buy a whole set of just left-handed M5s just specifically for that. And believe me, they're really hard to find. So what I'm doing is that's why I have these hubs out, not just for a reference or anything like that, but just because I'm actually going to use these. But in the front, these are the original hubs, the cups and everything. They will probably eventually start showing signs of wear, just like my center shafts underneath there, my stock center cups that are coming out of the transmission, especially in the rear. God, it's starting to really divot and tear into the sides, the slits here, and it's expected. I mean, it did it with my nitro motors engines. So these will go in the front with the stock dog bones, and the reason why I'm putting them in the front is because the load is usually in the back. Even though there's not a diff in the middle to distribute the load the way you want it with different oils, your front end is usually getting lifted up anyway, and so it's not really gripping it like it would in the rear, and all that weight gets transferred and pivots right on this rear section. So original hubs, original dog bones up in front. Everything will be right-handed. My 17 mils all should work fine. If I mess up one of the hubs, well, I do have a lot of extras of these because you guys seen how many vehicles and extra parts I have, which has actually saved me a lot of money. But just this motor setup, my spurs, which I love in this spur, and servo. I bought the Sabox servo, which is the I don't know if I put this in my last video, but the 1231 SG steel gear, 444.4 inch ounces of torque at 6 volts. It's a beast of a servo, and I bought some other little handy little extras for this truck that will play a role later on. So my shocks, again, leaking like a sieve. I think I mentioned that before. I'm just running this thing till I find where I want it. Then I'm gonna take these shocks off. I'm gonna disassemble them, probably lighter oil, and I'm gonna put the green stuff on. Brand new O-rings I just bought too. So O-rings have been sitting in there forever, since probably 2004 or 5, and they're probably shot. So probably the reason why it's leaking. O-rings do have a shelf life, guys. All rubber has a shelf life. So next one will be running. I promise I will get it a running video. It will feature my stock body that it came with. Actually, this is not the one it came with. This is one of my other ones that I had laying around, and I just cut the where the fake exhaust but the sticker was down here, bottom of the part of the truck, so it fit my battery trays. I actually trimmed it too high, and of course I had to put new holes in there because of the longer chassis. So promise, guys, running video next, and then I will give you an update on how my hexes worked and stuff like that. So anyway, for the guys that are doing this and are searching these forums, there is a dedicated HPI Savage forum out there that I'm actually subscribed to, which can be very helpful. But if you're just more of a visual person, then this is what I'm trying to do for you guys. I'm trying to put links on all these forums that I'm in and everything, because this sometimes helps people better than reading when you actually see it being done, and not or add the after product. Because I don't do a lot of instructional videos on how-tos, but I'm kind of giving you a baseline of, you know, this is where I would go with it. Here's the after product of what I've accomplished. So everyone's unique. Everyone's gonna have a unique rig, and that's the beauty of this hobby. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. If you want, like, subscribe, do whatever you like, or just watch and move on. My main purpose, like I said, is for these videos is to teach people. It's more educational and not just showing off. It's just more of that, because this is a complete custom job. I mean, it's really cool. So anyway, till next time, guys, running video, and then update on the hexes and how they did. All right, later.